Welcome to day 67 of the 77-day video challenge. We have 10 more of these to go, so please enjoy them while you can. I saw that today is National Tattoo Removal Day. I don't really have a whole lot to say about tattoos in the most literal sense because I don't have any tattoos. I've only toyed with the thought of getting a tattoo once, and that was about 12 years ago. In retrospect, I'm glad I didn't go through with that. Tattoos are something that are meant to last, and yet sometimes people hold some regrets about those. And so it even recalls, in a way, something that I was shared yesterday about thrift store day. That sometimes we discard things out of our lives that have had meaning, that have been relevant. And sometimes it's not just material things, it is people that we erase from our lives, and we find ourselves better equipped to grow and to nourish ourselves and our community if we remove certain responsibilities, certain physical objects, and sometimes certain people from our lives. Tattoos are, I don't know enough about tattoos to speak intelligently about them, but on this National Tattoo Removal Day, I have to wonder how the pain of having a tattoo compares to having it installed. I know lots of people who have tattoos, but not very many people who have had them removed. So I don't know about the sacrifice that one makes to remove a tattoo. It is interesting, however, to consider that if having a tattoo applied is pretty common, I understand, however, that it is painful to have them removed, especially if they were not very well applied in the first place. Sometimes people cover over their tattoos rather than have them removed. They just conceal whatever is no longer relevant in their lives. How does this relate to the relationships we have with people? Sometimes we invite people into our lives and they serve a purpose for a long time, or at least for a while. Eventually, we may experience some regret over having those people in our lives, and it's time to conceal that experience, have something else superimposed over that, or make the commitment to remove that person, that experience from our lives, and remake ourselves. Again, because I don't have tattoos, there's only so much that I could say about that in the truest sense. However, I know that there have been experiences in my life and people in my life that I recognized were no longer welcome. I dare say not entirely relevant. Relevance is an important word in my life. It is a state of being that I aspire to a lot. Sometimes it's so ingrained in me that I forget how much that means to me, to be relevant in people's lives. And so, in the spirit of National Tattoo Removal Day and in the aftermath of Garage Sale Day, please think about the people who are relevant in your life, the people who may have outlived their usefulness in your life, and how are you going to deal with that loss? Are you going to grieve the departure from that part of your life, that presence in your life? Will you conceal it, or will you remove it entirely? I am so inclined to remove, not so much to remove people from my life, but to let them fade, like a poorly applied tattoo, or I may conceal my grief, as I am all too inclined to do. I don't remove that experience. I just conceal it, or allow it to fade. If you have thoughts about what you do to recognize the diminished relevance of things and people in your life, I would love to know about that in the comments below this message. How do you keep those memories? Do you keep those people around even though they may no longer be relevant? Do you let that fade from your life? Do you conceal that? Or do you have the strength to execute the erasure of that experience from your life? I look forward to seeing you on day 68 of the 77-day video challenge. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks.